Can you imagine being 4,286 miles away from the person you love most? Well, up until December 13th, 2023, that was my life. Visiting my longtime girlfriend in Hawaii for the first time since her leaving has been one of the most nerve-wracking experiences in my life ever. After months of planning, days of packing, and hours of double-checking that everything was in order the night before my flight, the nerves began to settle in as I tried to get some rest but couldn't. I couldn't believe that I was going to fly across the country to see my beloved once again. After a night of no sleep whatsoever, I loaded my bags in the car in which my family had gotten together to drive me down to the airport. On my way down to the airport, a wave of crazy emotions came over me. I couldn't believe that any of this was real. Everything building up to the moment that I get to see her again. Once at the airport, my mom helped me with my bags, unloading them from the car and wheeling them to the check-in desk. On my way to the check-in desk, though, I began to get lightheaded and really dizzy. I couldn't stand up without holding on to my mom. I got through check-in and I got together with my family one last time to say my final goodbyes. After that, I headed to the TSA line with my mom and turned to her and I said, "Mom, I'm scared. I'm really going to miss you." She turned back to me and gave me a hug and said, "You have nothing to be scared of." Right before I headed through TSA and was all alone, ready to fly 4,000 miles away from home by myself for the first time in my life. Sitting there, waiting for my boarding group to be called, knowing that this was it. Once I stepped onto that plane, there was no turning back. Finally, I boarded and headed to my seat and fastened my seatbelt and thought about my family and how much I was going to miss them. Slowly, we began to move. I looked out the window and I saw they were putting us on a runway. I braced myself, and next thing I knew, the plane was darting down the runway and we were gaining altitude so fast that within 5 minutes, we were over the clouds. I couldn't help but settle back and think, I'm stuck on this thing for the next 11 hours and there's nothing I can do about it. Time was passing by slower than ever, and I still couldn't believe that any of this was real. My nerves still overpowering me, making my hands shaky and my heart pound. Nothing I did could help me settle them. The closer we got, the more and more I began to freak out. I was finally going to see my girlfriend for the first time since her leaving. Once the pilot announced there was 15 minutes before we landed, that's when everything up to this moment built up and came over me. My hands began to shake more than ever. My vision got blurry, my head began to spin, and my heart felt like it was literally going to come out of my chest. I got up and went to the restroom to brush my teeth and try to calm myself down. After that, I came back and settled in before landing. Once we landed, chaos ensued. Everyone was trying to get their carry-on luggage, but I grabbed my backpack and squeezed by and darted out of the plane. The breeze wind and the smell from the ocean came over me and felt out of this world. I put that aside though in order to find Briley. The second I made eye contact with her, all my worries went away. Everything before this and every single part of my journey was made worth it just to see her.